creating a short animation using an articulated paper collage puppet in the app Stop Motion Studio HD. Before getting into the app Motion Studio, you will need to have produced an element for animation. This can be done quickly and very well with a flat form like a paper puppet, articulated with hinges for movement. Supplies include magazine or other paper for collaging, cutting tools like scissors and X-Acto knives, glue, a stronger cardstock which allows collages a stiffer substrate, bendable brad fasteners, known also as split pens, and a background of some kind. I'm using a green poster board to allow for a green screen effect later on, but students could create a drawn or painted background just as well. But if so, make sure the background is sufficiently wide in order to accommodate the horizontal format of the video. After collages are created, cut and fashion the head and limbs to a torso by punching holes for the brad fasteners with an X-Acto knife. Use the brad fasteners or split pins to attach the pieces of your collage into a unified form. Place and attach your articulated collage to the background you intend to use. You can use a pin or some tape to maintain its location in the picture plane. Now open the iPad's app Stop Motion Studio. If this is the first time using the app, you will be given the plus icon to choose in order to create a new file. Touch it to begin. Have one person operate the iPad while another positions the puppet. Frame your collage puppet for the first shot and hold steady. Use the camera button on the right to take each photo. Alternatively, you have the option of steadying your iPad on an easel, or perhaps suspending the iPad facing down on a piece of glass so that it can see your setup below. Then using the timer slide, you may shoot at increments of time around 30 seconds, allowing for one person to manipulate the positioning while the program automatically takes the photograph. Note that this app has an onion skin feature. This allows you to see how your previous shot lines up to the new position of the puppet. You can also control how quickly the final movie plays each shot. Quicker time lapse requires more images, and also will perhaps require shooting 2 frames for every step rather than 1. To create a more natural look to your animation, move the puppet in small increments, and have a plan for movement so that you know where the puppet is going. If you make a mistake in the progression of photographs, you can correct it by deleting the frame or frames that aren't useful. Simply touch on the unwanted frame, and from the selection, choose the delete button. Once this is done, you may continue to shoot. You may check your progress by hitting the play button, which is also to the right, just above the camera button. On the far left side of the screen is the Share File button. Touch this in order to produce your frames into a single video file. Press Save to Camera Roll. You will be given several options for video size and clarity then. I would recommend for the shorter films a selection of the 1080p HD option. Once the format is selected, the film will be processed and stored in your photo library. You can then retrieve the files from there to download and share later. The student can use brushes 3 to create a file suitable for the background. If you have shot on a green screen background, then the video can be placed over a still image to create a more natural looking background. Depending on resources and the student's level, this may be something the teacher does for the student by using iMovie. So now we have our puppet moving in space. This iPad project exhibits the valuable combination of creating using traditional art techniques, tactile materials, and digital media. This can also be a very fun project in general and should be taken with that spirit in mind.